there. I am so excited to tell you all about the Feel Good Sisterhood. And so I wanted to take this opportunity because I'm sure that you have some questions. And if there's one thing that I've learned over the years of working with folks, it's that if one person has a question, then that probably means that other people have questions too. And so what I wanted to do was share with you a little bit of a few of the questions that folks have been asking me when it comes to the Feel Good Sisterhood. And so the first question folks ask me is, tell me about it, because I don't know, it just seems like when we read stuff, we don't really get a really good grasp. So hopefully I'll be able to explain it in words, speaking words, a little bit better. So the first thing you need to know is that there are three different, what I call components or parts to the Feel Good Sisterhood. There's the coaching, there's what I call the content or the teachings, and then the third part is the community. And the community is the other women that are in the group, but more importantly than that is in between calls, you will have access to the community of folks so that they will become basically your accountability partners. They will provide, I will be in there as well. We will provide a support network for you between sessions so that you are 100% taken care of for the entire 6 months. Okay, so now one of the questions folks have is, what is the platform? And we're not going to be using Facebook. I love Facebook. I'm on it all the time. However, Facebook doesn't really satisfy the need of having a private community where you feel like you're sharing exactly what you want to be sharing with the people that you're sharing it with. Through this other tool that we're going to be using called Slack, you are 100% safe. Not only is Slack a safe tool, but it also allows you to have a little bit more control over what information you share with the other members of the group. You can go by just your first name if you want to. You do not have to reveal anything about yourself that you don't want to. And so for that one reason, we're using this tool called Slack. Now, the other piece to Slack that I love is that Slack allows us to create what I call channels. And so what channels are is they're just groupings of conversations. So where in Facebook groups and Messenger and things like that, you just have one continuous conversation. You can't separate out what the conversation about nutrition is, or you can't separate out the information about exercise, or maybe even find an old call. And so with Slack, we can create what are called channels. And in those channels, we'll have access to group nutrition questions together or group exercise channel or questions together. Okay, so it just makes organization a little bit easier. It's a really easy tool to use, so I don't want you to get bogged down by that. Now, the second piece is coaching. Now, every week we will come together as a group and we will get coached on whatever it is that's bothering you. Now, sometimes this may be related to the content. So for example, every week I will be giving you a series of habits and skills that you want to practice that will ultimately lead you to your destination, that will allow you to be successful. Now, every week you will start wherever you are right now, and you will slowly add these habits into and incorporate them into your life. Where the coaching comes in is it's really easy for a few weeks to say, okay, I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water every day for this week. But then one of these weeks, it's not going to happen. And so let's figure out why it didn't happen. What happened? Were you out on the road and therefore you didn't have water with you? So do we need to create systems or processes in order to support that? Or were you just being a petulant child like we all do every once in a while, where we're like, I just don't want to drink my water. I just don't feel like it. I want to drink soda instead, because that stuff happens. And so when we are doing things that are in direct opposition to what we actually want, that's when we want to coach around it. Now, there's so much more in this program than just habits of eating and exercise and sleep. There's also a whole mindset track as well. So how you want to be thinking about your food, how you want to be thinking about your body, how you want to create what's called a body scan, or how to eat to the hunger scale. Some of those things that no one ever teaches us. Those are skills that you need in order to be successful in your success ultimately, and never have to go on a diet again. Okay, so that's the first thing. Like, what is the program all about? And hopefully, in a nutshell, I've explained it right there. All right. So the next question I have is, how many folks are in the program? And so I have to tell you that right now we have 5 folks who are enrolled. 2 of those are actually returning members from last session. And I really think that that speaks a lot about the quality of the program. If 2 women are like, you know what, I really want to go through that again, it's worth paying that price again so that I can go through the material and just get more out of it. You know that it's a quality program. So in addition to those 2, we have 3 other folks who are joining for the first time. And so it looks like it's going to be a really small group. I had intended on capping it at 20, but it looks like we're going to have a smaller group, which means that you will get more personalized attention. All right. Now, the next question is about group coaching. So a lot of folks, a lot of women our age, have never done group coaching before. And I think that there's a perception that it's like, well, I don't want to share my stuff because everyone's going to judge me. And I want you to be aware that, so first of all, one of the pieces of feedback that I got from the existing group was that it was really helpful to have the group there, because we're able to see that our problems are actually universal. That a problem that I have that I find shameful, all of us experience that same problem. And so what group coaching can really do, how it can really benefit, is that there's something called side door coaching. And that's where there's one person getting coached, but as a witness of that coaching, I can benefit from it. And so it really is just such an amazing experience, because I don't actually have to talk about my problems, but I can get the benefit of the coaching from someone else talking about their problems, because again, all of our problems are universal. Okay, so if you've never done a group coaching program before, I highly recommend it. I've done it multiple times and I find it so incredibly useful, because every one of us has something valuable to say and something valuable to share. And so what's really important about that, I was just talking to one of my other clients who's actually thinking about joining the program, is she said that, you know, when we were working together one-on-one, there was like this hierarchy where I was up here and she was down here, all in her mind. But now with the group coaching program, we all become equals. And I really want to stress that a lot, because I'm facilitating it, but I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of the answers as far as nutrition goes, but every one of us brings something different and unique to the group. And so I really want you to be able to share that with the other members of the group. It's just completely fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the other question was, how accessible am I, Elizabeth, to the group? And I want you to know that in addition to being on all of the group coaching calls, I will also be in the community. And I think that I am just as accessible in the community as I am to my one-on-one clients. With my one-on-one clients, I have a contract, so to speak, that I will reach out to them within 24 hours of them texting me or emailing me. And I have that same agreement with the members of the community. So if you have a question, if you have a problem, I will definitely be in the group almost every day, and I get notifications of messages. So I am highly accessible and available to you if you need me. So yeah, I just want to let you know about that. Let's see, what else? Do I have to exercise on the program? Exercise is not required. I definitely suggest that you move, but we all start where we are and we build from there. So at the end of the program, I'm not requiring that everyone be at a certain level. We have to figure out, there's what I call structured flexibility, which is figuring out what lifestyle habits work for you in your goal long term. Like when you think about who you're going to be at the end of this program, I really want you to think about what is realistic for you. What do you want? And then I will help you get that. It may not include tons of exercise. For someone else, it might. And so we get to figure out how to get you there. And we do that through creating repeatable habits that you do on a regular basis. And through this program, what I want to tell you is that you will then become self-accountable. And so through creating these habits at the beginning of the program, you're going to be accountable to me, you're going to be accountable to the other women in the group, but through the course of the program, you will eventually start to create behaviors that you will then decide, you know what, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for anyone else. And there's no greater reward than that. All right, let's see. What other questions do I have? Why is it 6 months? Okay, good question. So what I've experienced in my years of coaching and coaching on this topic is that it just takes about that amount of time for us to get the swing of things and have the mindset shift so that we're doing things for our health, doing things to make ourselves feel better, doing the habits and behaviors that we want to do, not so that we lose weight, but so that we change our relationship with food, we change our relationship with our body. And here's the thing. I know that a lot of folks watching right now are going to be like, I don't want to do a 6-month program. I only want to do an 8-week program. Here's the problem with 8-week programs and 12-week programs. You can white knuckle it for 8 weeks and 12 weeks. You can totally be adherent to the program for 8 weeks or 12 weeks. You cannot be perfect for an entire 6 months. Stuff is going to come up that you will not be able to control. And that's where the coaching really shines. Because when you fall down, and I know that you're probably cringing right now because no one likes to fail. But the problem isn't the failure. We don't care about failure. What is important is picking ourselves up again after the failure and getting back on track. And that's where the coaching and the program is going to help you. Because when we fall down, what we need to do is we need to make that fall down not mean something terrible about us. We need to make that mistake not be something that is catastrophic and reason of